Second one, authorization. Vendor selection or supplier selection. Under vendor selection, what are the topics, subtopics we discussed? प्रश्न में मामा आप देखा था ओवरऑल आप तो लगा under vendor selection what are the subtopics we discussed ऑलरेडी क्या प्रश्न है मैं क्या करता नहीं था vendor selection. What are the subtopics? What are the key points we discuss on the vendor selection topic? Normally, what type of vendors, what type of vendor organization selects? Normally, what type of vendors organization selects? Low price quoted suppliers. So how they are selecting low quoted suppliers? What's the process? Under vendor selection, we discussed about tender process. Generally, low price quoted supplier, but however, in certain situations, however, in certain situations, low price quoted supplier is not selected. So you should know about what are those situations. What are those situations? If that particular supplier has no experience on particular product, already he has track record with the organization and good relationship with the organization. If that supplier can finish the work quickly, then low price quoted supplier, then organization may choose another supplier. Okay, already we have discussed it. So you should remember what are those situations. Fourth topic we discuss recording part. The recording discuss about fixed asset register. It's the initial recording document. Before recording in the ledger, organization should record in the FAR. Okay.
Yes.
Next topic we discuss about disposal. Last one. Record in the accounts. Capitalization and depreciation. So here so these main topics we discuss under BP management box. So recording part, FAR and FAR, you should remember what are the items included in the should be included in the FAR, and FAR is the initial recording document. First, you have to record in the FAR. After that only you have to record in ledger. Fifth topic, disposal we discuss, and last topic we discuss record in the accounting system. Recording in the accounting system. Under that, capitalization and depreciation we discuss. And final topic, just write 7 risk in the BP management process. I don't have space here. So last topic, 7th topic we discuss risk in the BP management process. So last class we discussed another topic,
Oh, no.
What are the activities involved in the revenue management process? Order. Audit received already we discussed under purchase management, procurement process. So we have started from storing activity. Under storing, what are the topics we discussed? Recording, identification, in the system, and physical count. So under physical count, there are two types of physical count. What are those? Periodic count, continuous physical count. On the issuing we discuss material execution note. Material execution note, what are documents, other documents we discuss? What are the documents we discuss on the issuing part? Material execution is the initial document. Second document, material remote transfer note. Material issue or material transfer note. Both are okay. MIN or MTN. Third document we discuss material return note. Material execution note and material return note short form immanent. So in order to avoid the confusion, I wrote here H.RE note. Material return note. Minimum level, maximum level, pre-order level. Other than this main control level, we discuss other two-bin system, classifications likewise. Four categories are there. Other controls also we discuss. Under inventory management process, certain other topics we discuss. Costs. Costs. Purchase costs. Handling cost. Risk associated with inventory management process we discussed. And evaluation part. So these are the discussed under inventory management process. Nella katana India no prashna ko bata sawal isura. Ada katana na prashna hai. Tera katana India ka no prashna ko bata. To balagi na. Ine ko balagi na to balagi sa. Agar se dakhiye prashna ke wo tera na burona katana. Again, student transform both of them. Okay. So, reorder level, inventory control point, inventory controls level. I want to explain again with the numbers. Reorder level and minimum level. Maximum level is straightforward thing, no issue. Minimum level and reorder level. So reorder level. Equation maximum maximum lead time. Minimum level equation more. Reorder level equation हमारे अब देखते हैं. Minimum level equation more. Already we discussed that you can develop you already upload and feed the elements. What is the minimum level equation? What is the minimum level equation? You daragan what here? Daragan में what है? ना इंफ्रा what है? Minimum level equation. बात लगी ना प्रश्न है झूठे के लिए minimum level equation है क्या झूठे दिया कौन नहीं लेवल से दिया गल Minimum level equation formula.
Yes.
Pre-order level minus net usage what is mean by lead time? Last class we discussed. What is mean by lead time? Supplier delivery time. Usage. Last class I have given different words, but content is same. Usage. Demand. Okay. So let's take maximum usage maximum lead time average usage average lead time maximum usage per week, let's say 100. Okay. Maximum lead time, let's say 10 days. Maximum usage means per day or per week, means per week 100. Maximum demand. Okay, maximum demand is 100. So maximum lead time means maximum days will be taken by the supplier to deliver the goods or raw materials. Average usage is the maximum in per month. So let's say an average, 80. Average lead time, let's say 8 days. So these are the numbers. So here you can calculate the ROA, pre-order level, maximum usage, per day. Okay. So maximum usage 100, maximum lead time 10. What's the answer? Thousand quantities. So per day demand 100, 10 days. Ten days your supply will take to deliver the goods. So 100 into 10, 1000 quantities is the pre-order level. So minimum level 1000 Average usage 80. Average sleep time 8. Eight into 8 here. Here 8 into 8. 600. 4. So your minimum level should be 40. Okay. So up to this extent. So in your level, you know about this conjugation and this content, that's enough. So reorder level also, it additionally we can talk about reorder level plus safety mark, safety stock. So certain things are there. No need to discuss those things at your level. So if you know about these things, what is minimum level and what is reorder level, with this example, that is enough. Okay. Clear? Okay, right. Okay, so up to now we have discussed 5 processes and management process things. So another 2 more processes are there, payroll process and digitalization. Actually, digitalization is not a process. That is related to current information technology trends in the business. Okay, so that's not a process. So now we are going to discuss about the payroll process. So quickly we will try to finish it off payroll and digitalization today. And next class I will give group assignment. Okay. So next class 6th class. So 6th class I will give the group assignment, and from next class onwards we can start to discuss internal controls. So business processes are straightforward thing. It's not that much of complex part. You know the sales process and processes, those things you know. But internal control, I think this is the first time we are going to discuss. So as I told last class, we are not going to discuss about the internal controls example in that chapter. Internal control example is already we have discussed in some processes, and I have asked you to write internal controls for 2 more processes also. There are last class. I have asked you to write internal controls for 2 processes. What are those processes? To cash management process, I have given internal controls. PP process. And inventory or cash management. 2 processes. I asked you to write the internal controls. I don't know how many of you wrote the answers. After the break, I will check that one. In the Qt itself, I have given up to cash management process internal controls. PB, inventory, and payroll process, I will give separate internal controls. So these internal controls we are not going to discuss in chapter 2. Those are examples. Internal controls examples, activities. So other aspects of internal controls only we are going to discuss under internal control chapter. So next class onwards, try to attend all the classes. So 2 to 3 classes I will take to discuss about the internal controls. After that, entire balance classes are related to audit. 7 to 8 classes I will take to discuss about the fundamentals of audit. So today Yeah, starting our session, theoretical session with payroll process. So this is quickly we can discuss. So already I have uploaded the payroll process view, but I have removed that part. So today morning I have uploaded amended version. So things I have removed from the existing version. So make upload correction. Okay. Take a look at certain things I have removed. Certain 3-4 topics I have removed. So we will start the payroll process first. So normally when it comes to payroll, here payroll HR activities, I think you have separate HR subject now. So that is the last area. We are not going to discuss about all that HR related things here. Okay. In this chapter, main content is payroll process. When it comes to payroll process, let's say you have been recruited for a company after 1 month period, after working 1 month period, you will expect salary. How this salary part is processed. Okay. Other things of HR, other things of employee certain things we are not going to discuss here. Here only our focus is how salary is paid to the employer. That's the only focus here. Other aspects, I think you will cover your HR structure. So here, payroll system. Under payroll system, organization's main objective is the employee should not be underpaid. Okay, or overpaid. Employee should be paid by correct time. Okay, it is 1 month salary. Without any under or overpayment, he should get his salary. That is the main objective. So, in order to achieve that objective, what are the activities? What are the activities done by the finance and HR division? These are the things we are going to discuss under this chapter. First thing, you have to remember, main objective of this chapter, payroll system, is employee should not be under or overpaid. Correct amount must be paid to the employee. That's the main objective. In order to achieve that objective, what are the activities involved in the payroll process? Those are the things we are going to discuss. So in this view only, we have to discuss other topics as well. Whatever topics we are discussing in this payroll chapter, final objective will be employee should be paid by correct time. Okay. The payroll system should try to ensure that underpayments and overpayments of wages and salaries are avoided. Employees are paying for their correct amount must be paid to the employees. Within organization, the accounting and finance department is responsible for payment of wages and salaries to employees. We can explain that on that. Who is responsible for the payments? Finance division. Okay. Finance division will take the work through HR, but finally, payments are responsible with finance division. It's the responsibility of human resource department to keep employees records. Don't get confused. Okay. Here our focus is payment. Salary payments. These salary payments, responsible of these salary payments in finance division. So finance division should take information from the HR division. Okay. So it's the responsibility of human resource department to keep employees records. Finance department, they are the employees records to the HR. So in order to run the payroll, finance division should take the information from the HR division. So whatever topics, whatever contents we are discussing here, our focus should be only one thing. Payment, salary payment. Salary payment must be transferred correctly. That's the only objective in this payroll system. to keep employee records and to notify the payroll officer of all relevant details. The payroll officer will maintain the payroll records. So here, this payroll process is started from employee joining to payment. Okay, this payroll process we are going to discuss from employee joining to recruitment point to until he gets the payment. Okay, so first one, employee joining to the organization. First activity when it comes to employee joining. Over done the again of employee joining, don't see this one and fail. Just whatever you know about the recruitment, just tell me. What are the things you know about the recruitment? How recruitment processes work in the organization? What are the things? It doesn't matter. Even order also not there, no issue. Just tell me what are the contents, what are the information you need, you know about the recruitment process. First of all, if organization wants to recruit a person, let's say for accounts, as you know, accountant. So what is the first step they have to take? Not no. That I don't need these answers. Okay. First of all, what should they do? Advertisement. Okay. Top jobs or social media, they should put the advertisement. Fine. Next. Yeah. Receiving CVs. Next step. Interviews. Before that, after receiving the CVs, they have to shortlist based on the criteria. Next step. Interview and selecting the candidate. Okay. So these are the normal activity. You know that's the correct way. Okay. But here we are not going to discuss about all these things. That's why I told you. These things we will discuss under HR syllabus. So here our main focus is after recruiting, how then particular employees getting salary, whether under or payment or correct. That is the only that is the only objective of this chapter. So here, first of all, so these are the big advertisements in the social media and top jobs. These are the external things. No, external things means you can see. So outsiders can see these activities. But when it comes to internal activity, first of all, first thing, relevant manager. Let's say, what is mean by relevant manager? If finance division vacancy is there, then finance manager. If it is marketing division, or if it is HR, if it is production, if it is purchase department. So the relevant line manager should approve the requisition. Okay. First, requisition should be made. Recruitment requisition. Read that become recruit කරන්න first of all vacancy එකක් තියෙන්න ඕනේ නැත්නම් additionally cover එක ගන්න ඕනේ නැත්නම් recruitment requirement. So that requirement must be approved through the recruitment requisition. Okay. So first relevant line manager should approve the recruitment requisition. So this is the first activity before putting the advertisement. So we know first step as advertisement. Because external parties can see the advertisement only. Before that process, we don't know. So first of all, relevant line manager should approve the recruitment requisition. So a recruitment requisition form should be completed by the relevant department and sent to the relevant manager. Okay. After that only, these processes are taking place. Advertisements and interviews, shortlist and selection process. So I'm not going to discuss those things here. So once recruitment requisition is approved, those processes happen, then relevant candidate will be select. Okay, now relevant candidate is selected. Then when new employee joins an organization, now new employee has been joined. When new employee joins an organization, the human resource department must be notified. Okay. First, if when new employee joins to the organization, HR should be notified about the employee. Next step, the appointment should be formally approved. Okay. The appointment should be formally approved, including details of the new employee salary or wages, salary, forget about the wage, salary. Okay. First, recruitment recruitment must be approved. Once approved, all these interview process should be taking place. After that, relevant candidate should be selected. Once the candidate is selected, then it should be the candidate selection. The selection must be notified to HR. Appointment should be formally approved, including details of salaries. This is very clear. Don't confuse with other processes. Okay. Whatever you say, those processes will come in between these two processes. So now, HR has been notified about the new recruitment and details also recorded with the once appointment is approved, okay, now appointment is approved, HR should record the details in the master file. Okay, your details. Let's say you are the new candidate. So HR should record your details in the master file. Therefore, HR should have details of the employees who are working in the organization. That's the important document. So now HR departments must then create a record for the employee, containing all the necessary personal details about the employee as well as the terms and conditions of the appointment. Recruiter that has been notified to HR, formally approve the appointment. Now HR job is collecting your details and you should record in the master file. Now all the informations are recorded. The salary details, the service previous organization, service letters, terms and conditions of probation period, and other terms and conditions. Here are good of them, HR study here on one and off time, all the information about you and other details also should be included in the master file. Clear? After appointment is approved, HR should create the detailed file. It's master file, employee master file with the appointment details. Now, after creating the file, it is then the responsibility of the HR department to notify the finance and accounting department so that the information about the appointment can be given to the payroll officer. HR to earn money, salary. So HR has prepared all the information. Now time to provide those information to the payroll officer, the person who's responsible to create payroll. Okay. So end of the month, the payroll officer will generate the payroll report so that payroll officer should have your information. What's your basic salary? Certain information. End of the month only he will get additional information. We will discuss that part later. But initially, he should have certain information. Employee number, who is the employee EPF number, and what's your basic salary, what's your traveling allowances, those things you should have. Then, based on that information, creating payroll records. Up to this point, clear then? Any doubt? Processing is not a question on. HR should collect your information and should create the master file, and those information should be given to the payroll officer. and payroll officer will create, payroll officer will include your details to the payroll database. Okay, so creating payroll record. Once payroll officer gets information from the HR, new employee should be entered onto the payroll system by the payroll officer when an authorized staff appointment form is received from the HR. Okay, so here appointment has been approved. After that, HR created your master file with details, and those details have been given to the payroll officer. Now, with approved appointment form, now payroll officer will include your details to the payroll system. Then only your details will be captured end of the month. Otherwise, what will happen? You won't be considered for the payroll process. So this is the main part. The information put onto the system should include details of new employees' pay to date and tax deductions. Based on the salary, your tax have been paid or not. So that also will be varied. So those details also must be included in the payroll system. The basic salary, traveling allowances, any deductions, EPF deductions, sorry, EPF employee percentage. So those things should be put to the payroll system. So now your details are included in the payroll system. Up to this point, any doubt? Straightforward thing, not even to control that much of complex things. Straightforward thing payroll. So if you remember these things, that is enough. Okay. So after now, what are the things we have discussed? The payroll. You have been recruited. Your recruitment has been notified to the HR, and HR has created and with the approved appointment form, and HR has created master file which means including your details, and those details have been given to the payroll officer with the approved appointment form, and payroll officer includes those information to the payroll system. What are those information? For example, your salary details, deductions. That is enough. Okay. Here you don't need to memorize all these deductions or things. Okay. Your salary details, and if you join week of the month, you won't get entire month things. So that those details also you should include. So whatever things related to the payroll, your salary, those information must be included in the payroll system. So now time to. So these are the things should be happen beginning of the month. Let's say you have joined January 1st. So these things must be completed by the of 2 to 3 days. Okay. So now from here onwards, we are going to discuss end of the month process. So up now we have discussed recording your details in the payroll system. Now from here onwards, we are going to discuss after 1 month, you want to get amount, salary. So how that salary process is done. Okay, that part we are going to discuss from here on. Payment of wages and salaries. Not about the wages, payment of salaries. Just remember salaries. Information needed for payroll. So now time. Who is preparing the payroll? HR delegated. All the preparing the payroll? Payroll officer. Okay. Payroll officer is the part of finance division. If you have okay. So now the payroll report must be generated by payroll officer. In order to generate the payroll report, he needs certain information. Okay. So month beginning at the time of joining, he has received certain information from HR. Those are the basic information, fixed information. The salary, traveling allowances, other benefits, and deductions, those things. In order to calculate month-end salary amount, he needs certain information. What are those information? Question clear? So now, your payroll report, your records have been included in the payroll system. That is okay. Now time to our main point. Now time to take salary. Oh, organization side, they have to give the salary to employees. So in order to calculate the salary by payroll officer, he needs certain information. What are those information? Leave details, okay. Overtime, design and file details. Yeah, certain information. If the particular employee has got any loans, those reduction details. So certain information, mainly, generally, overtime details, if applicable, and deductions, taxes, and resigned employees, and leave details, no pay deductions. So these information, whether payroll officer directly can take or who should support him? HR should take these details from several resources and he should give to payroll officer. Information needed for payroll preparation is gathered by the HR department. These informations, leave details, OT and deductions, these details must be taken by HR and which passes the information to the accounting and finance department and the payroll officer. Why we should give accounting and finance? We should. Payroll preparer and payroll officer have to. Why we should give finance and finance division, accounting division, finance department and payroll officer. HR should give inputs to calculate the pay salary. What are those inputs? Deductions, leave details, and OT details, any other benefits, those things. So these informations must be transferred to payroll officer. By HR transferring this information to the payroll officer, he will transfer to finance division as well. Why HR should send this information to the finance division? Simple question. Certain informations, same information is given to payroll officer as well as finance division also. Right? Next, have to go monitor on page. Yeah. Huh? Payment. Payroll officer देना आप कंप्यूट करना है. Payroll officer देना आप कंप्यूट करना है. Right? Finance division देना. Finance division. Payroll, whatever report, let's say payroll report, that payroll report is prepared by payroll officer. That must be approved by the finance division, authorized person. In order to approve that one, payroll report, the base of payroll report, what's the base? What's the inputs? HR given information. Those information must be available with the finance division. Information to home they will not. Verify then leave it is clear. Payroll officer leave it is clear. Then how finance division can check? That's why finance division authorized person must approve the payroll report. So, if he wants to approve the payroll report, then he should need information, same information, but payroll officer has used. Okay, so that based on that information only, he can check the accuracy of the payroll report. So that's why HR should give information, one set of information to the payroll officer, same time those information should be given to the finance division as well. So information to the accounting and finance department and payroll officer. The HR department should provide the accounting and finance department with all relevant payroll details by specific day of the week or month, giving the payroll officer sufficient time to prepare the payroll details for the period. Let's say if an organization salary date is 6 or 7, okay, then HR should not give on 4th. HR should give by at least first. Then only 4-5 days they will take and they will compute the payroll report. Then information given by HR department are given below. Information about new employees, absences, leave details, amendments to the salary details. If any salary increment, that also must be communicated. Okay. Payroll officer का होती है ना initial salary का में दिए, salary समय दिए. If any increment taking place for specific employee, that details must be included. That details must be given to the payroll officer by HR. Amendments to the salary details, attendance details for hourly paid employees. So these are the information every month HR should give. These are the set of information. Company wise, it will be varied. So the standard information must be given by the HR to payroll officer. The senior manager in the accounting and finance department should review this information provided by the HR department and approve it. So now information are given to the payroll officer. Clear? End of the month. Let's say June 1st. June 1st. All these informations are given to the payroll officer. Now time to run the payroll. So that part is done by payroll officer. When payroll is being prepared for the payment, a payroll report should be produced and checked and authorized. Okay, payroll report will be prepared by payroll officer. That must be checked and authorized by the financing. Payroll procedures are carried out by an authorized payroll officer or payroll team. Clear the any doubt? This information in the payroll report should be checked against the information provided by the HR department in order to verify regular wages, salaries, additional types of pay such as overtime, commissions, and bonuses and deductions. This is the part I have explained short while ago. So once payroll report is submitted by the payroll officer to the finance division, in order to approve that payroll report, finance division head must have these informations. Whatever information is given by the HR to the payroll officer, those informations must be given to the finance division as well in order to verify and approve the payroll report. Now, payroll report has been done. Okay, up to this point, any doubts? Up to this point. So now, payroll report has been approved. Now, you should get the payments. Before employees are paid, the payment should be formally approved and approvals should be documented. So, the payroll reporting approved okay. Every company must approve the payments as well. So, before making the payments also should be approved. When they approve the payments, normally they check in the payroll rate. That's the practical thing. Okay. So once payments are approved based on the payroll report, now time to transfer those payments to the employees. What are the ways to transfer what are the methods organization can adopt to transfer the salary to the employees? Bank instruction, okay, I have given. What are other methods? What are the other methods organization can use to transfer the salary to the employees? No, generally this is the safest method, bank instruction. But certain villages or salaries by cash also they will give, and they will get the signature from the payment also basis. That's one. Yeah, sometimes directly organization directly deposit the deposit the amount to the employee's account. That is also riskiest one. The They say 100 employees are there. Organization will directly deposit to the relevant employees account. Third one is the most safest method, and lot of companies are adopting this method. Bank instruction. Company will give employees account number and net salary amount to the bank in the letter, and bank will proceed the rest of the things. So that is called bank instruction. When employees are paid by bank transfer, there should also be a check of instruction to the bank about the payments and the payroll report. Always, before making the payment, before approving the payment amount and payroll report must be compared. At the time of payment also, that should be compared because the salary. Okay, finally money. एक अकाउंट के क्या नंबर से मार्क लगाने का easy बेटा नहीं. So always until the salary, you should compare with the payroll report. Not only until settle the salary, after transfer the salary also, payroll report and actual paid amount must be compared, and that must be reconciled. So when employees are paid by bank transfer, there should also be a check of instruction to the bank about payments and the details in the payroll report. Now, salary has been paid. Final one, payroll reconciliation. Payroll details, including details of deductions from gross pay, are recorded in the bookkeeping. Now, after making the payment, salary details must be recorded in the accounting system. The payroll reconciliation is check that net pay to the employees plus deductions equal to the gross pay. So finally, after making the payment, payroll reconciliation must be done. What's payroll reconciliation? What are the deductions and net payment must be matched with the gross amount. Gross amount should be recorded in the accounting system. Deductions also recorded in the accounting system, but these deductions, net payment plus deductions must be matched with the gross amount. These are the processes involved, activities involved in the payroll. So here you can see most important thing, our focus is only for the salary side. So recruitment side is not that much of important. That's why these interviews, advertisements, and shortlist part, those things I have not discussed. So our part, once the employee recruiter, his appointment must be approved. Based on the approval, HR should create a master file with details of employee, and that must be communicated to the payroll officer. Payroll officer should include new employees' information to the payroll system. And end of the month, HR should give certain details to payroll officer in order to calculate salary. Okay. So once he gets information from the HR, he should prepare the payroll report, and that payroll report must be approved by the finance division. And based on the payroll report, payments should be made. Before making the payment, that payments also must be compared with the payroll report and approved. After that, bank instruction should be given to the bank. Okay. End of the process, payroll reconciliation must be done by the company. So these are the main activities involved in payroll process. Main aspects of payroll system. Main aspects. There are three aspects. Main aspects are there in the payroll system. One is employee master file, base file. Employee details must be recorded in this file. Employee master file. It contains details of employees, including their job in the organization, where they work and their salary or wages payments. The file must be kept up to date to record details of new employees joining the organization and employees who leave. And second one, attendance records. It's particularly important for employees who are paid wages according to the numbers of hours that they work. Attendance records should be the initial responsibility of the operational managers where the employees work. Attendance records must be taken by the relevant managers. Okay. The HR will attendance record are in that. Okay. HR is responsible person, but relevant line manager only should take this attendance records and that person only should give to HR. And payroll processing, as we discussed, it consists of procedures involved in calculating the amounts payable to individuals and making the payment. And third topic, these are the other topics other than payroll process steps. Certain other topics also we should discuss. So here, employee leaving, the same as employee joining. When employee joins to the organization, then an appointment must be approved. Likewise, here also, appointment form is there. Likewise, leavers form is there. So the same procedure opposite side. Okay. There should be. Why this procedure should be adopted? Join मैंने कुछ प्रश्न नहीं add करना no issue. Leave करना कुछ मुकरद में लगी में procedure करना है. What's the risk involved in the leaver side? Joining okay. Up to now we have discussed about joining now. Employee. Once employee is recruited, what are the things must be followed by the organization? We have discussed until make the payment, salary payment. So when it comes to leavers, why we should give that much of importance to the leavers? What is the risk involved in the leaver side when it comes to organization? If leavers details are not recorded properly on timely basis, then what will happen? Leavers also will get paid. Payroll so the name HR didn't have HR information they don't need all the particular month they will database approve. HR didn't have if HR doesn't give those information to the finance division, if they know the person, okay, fine. But every time we can't put that control. So company should have the general control. So if HR doesn't give the leavers details, automatically payroll report will calculate, payroll officer will calculate the salary amount for that particular month. If finance division also not receive the information from HR means, what will happen? Head of finance also will approve the payroll report. Then resigned employee will get the salary for the particular period. So that is loss to the company. So there should be also procedure for removing leavers from the payroll file. When an employee announces their intention to leave, leavers form should be completed by their line manager. Like recruitment form. Okay. This form should then be submitted by the line manager to the HR department. The HR department should forward the copy of the leavers form to the payroll officer who should remove the employee from the payroll system. Otherwise, what will happen? He will also get paid end of the month. Okay, this risk is there because of in order to avoid that risk, this leavers form and this information parts are available in the process. Attendance records. So normally, what are the attendance records method used by the organization? The whole companies better than all. All companies will use attendance records method. So these are the straightforward things, not like this inventory and cash management, but digitalization is a little bit new thing to you. So payroll process straightforward thing, like purchase and sales. We have extra without done up that here is explain correct. Just straightforward things. What are the attendance records method used by the organization? Generally, you know, fingerprint, card. Finally, signing. So these are the things. So attendance records, organization use time and attendance system to record when employees start and stop work. Records must be also be kept. These notes have been given to just understand the attendance recording process. Okay. So by reading these things, you can understand. Records must also be kept of time when employees are not working, for example, due to sickness and holidays. These systems may consist of manual records with the employees signing an attendance book when they get into work. Alternatively, hourly paid employees may be required to use clock station to record when they arrive at work and when they leave. So here, how to record attendance time, swift cards and biometric devices, fingerprint. So those are the biometric devices, fingerprint, employees form and eyes. This one is important, payroll reconciliation. As I told, after transfer the amount also, after paying the salary also, organization should do the payroll reconciliation. What is the main purpose of payroll reconciliation? Simple. Main purpose of payroll reconciliation is our objective, whether employee has received correct amount or not. He has not been over or underpaid. It's a overpaying of company loss, underpaying of employees. Personal. So always is under overpayment, both are problem no. So objective is payroll reconciliation, whether employee has received correct amount or not. In other terms, we can say employee has not been under or overpaid. The payroll reconciliation should be carried out. The purpose of payroll reconciliation is to verify that employees have been properly paid, payroll expenses are applied to the appropriate accounts, taxes paid to the Indian revenue and reported accounts. Overall, not over or underpaid, payroll expenses are applied to the appropriate accounts, the ledger, and paying taxes and paying taxes are paid appropriately to the department. Reconciliation of payroll and HR records. So here, reconciliation of payroll and HR records. So HR should give information to the payroll officer. Okay. So what's the risk involved in this process? So let's say HR payroll officer directly information to the employee. Clear. So HR should collect information from the employee or employee related information from the company. So finally, HR is responsible to collect the information about employee. HR to have responsibility to collect the employee related information. Okay, that is first step. Those information must be communicated to payroll officer. Okay. So payroll officer will use those information to compute the salary. It's the process, simple process. Okay. Then HR monetary amendment करा के लिए information नहीं salary increment करा दिया. एक ही employee की salary increment करा दिया. So salary increment is there for a employee. But HR has got the information and he kept in the file, but it has not been communicated to payroll officer. HR has updated the file. Let's say last month he got 100,000. This month salary revision is 110,000. Okay, but this 10,000 increment information has not been passed to payroll officer. So what will happen? He won't get that 10,000. That's a simple thing. So HR's records and payroll officer records must be compared at regular interval, whether both are same. If any deviations, that must be reconciled, recording side. Then only this process, we can ensure this process works properly. Okay, that is called reconciliation of payroll and HR records. There should also be periodic reconciliation between records on the payroll file and employee records held by the HR department. Quarterly basis, the payroll officer should provide the HR department with list of all employees who currently remain on the payroll system. Then leave us. We discussed no previous details should be given by the HR to payroll officer. If HR does not give that details to the payroll officer, what will happen? payroll report will calculate resigned employees also. Calculate the salary for resigned employee as well. So that is lost to the company. On the other hand, if increments are not properly communicated, what will happen? The relevant employee will not get proper salary. So in order to avoid that risk, at regular level, normally quarterly or monthly, it depends on the companies, at least once in 3 months. Okay, quarterly basis, payroll officer records and HR reports must be compared. So business risk in the payroll process. So here, if you are asked to write business risk in the payroll process, first you have to remember one thing. Our chapter related to only salary. Okay, to salary. So first thing, other recruitment and leavers, those things we don't need to bother about. Those things we don't need to bother. Our focus only whether salary is correctly calculated or not, whether that person has been paid or not. Okay. So first one, what are the risks involved in the calculation of salary? First, errors and mistakes in calculation of salary. Basic simple risk happening. Calculation errors or mistakes in the salary. And base documents. The inaccuracy of base documents like salary increment. If that employee eligible to salary increment and already that salary increment also accrued, but if it is not properly communicated to the payroll officer, then what will happen? He will get all salary. Okay, so the inaccuracy of base document details, salary computation details. So these are the main risks associated with the payroll. First one, if you are asked to write risk associated with the payroll, first you have to think how salary amount will go wrong. Okay, that's the first thing you have to get in your mind. How salary amount will go wrong. So what are the reasons? First one, calculation errors. Second one, inaccuracy of base documents. If documents are wrong, then any salary amount also will be wrong. Okay. So these are the main two risks. Risk of incorrect information to the payroll officer. Risk of incorrect payroll calculations. These are the direct impact to salary amount. And other is failure to comply with local regulations. What do you mean by failure to comply with local regulations? One of the examples. Failure to comply with local regulations, which can lead to fines and penalties. Examples. Examples. Not deducting pay taxes or correct pay amount has not been deducted. Okay, then it will lead to penalty. Others, any other? What are the other regulatory requirements are related to the payroll or salary? EPF, on time, they have to make the payment. Correct amount they have to pay. Minimum 8 and 12%. Unauthorized access to sensitive employee data. Unauthorized access to sensitive employee data. So that is also risk. Employees or external parties manipulating payroll records for personal gain. These are straightforward things. Employees of external parties manipulating payroll records for personal gain. Employees not being paid on time due to processing delays. Employees not being paid on time to processing delays. These are the risks involved in the payroll process. So questions we will do later, or we can cover through the practice questions. You can try at home these questions, but definitely you won't get this type of questions in the exam. Okay, these are practice questions. Definitely you won't get. So practice questions, separate set of practice questions already I uploaded. Sorry, but 3 areas only I have uploaded. So next, PP, inventory and payroll digitalization. These areas I will upload today. Before next class I will upload it. So altogether you will get 20 questions in the business process. Okay. So 11 questions already I have uploaded. 9 questions are related to next 4 chapters. So those type of questions only you will get in the examination. Not this type of questions. These questions are just for revision purpose. So we will have a break. After the break, we will discuss about visualization. Either you or internal control. Internal control की देने की वर्स ये होगा कि ये पूरे दिन होगा है पास से एक्सेप्ट में अगर पास से तीन वैली ओके लेसियन दाल में बिलो बॉडी मास और पास से एई मतलब बॉडी आ गई और लंग करते हैं अरे ब्रेक क्या ना मर दिला इधर कितना क्लास है हाँ I need group edits before the assignment how many students are there 100 or 84 75. So 75. 75. There are technical guys, no? That online schools also they are. Yeah. So altogether 75. Last class I heard 100 of students. No. So I need group details. Whether you ask, I should give the details. No. Okay, then okay, I will check the register. 75. No, you go. Okay, before next class, I will share the group details. Okay, and next class topics also will be shared. Only 3 weeks. Group assignment. Are ready in this? Only 3 weeks. You have to do. So next Sunday I will give group assignment. Before that I will share the group details to WhatsApp. So next topic, last topic in your business purpose, digitalization. Digitalization. Visualization and business process. So here, this is not a step-by-step process like purchase or payroll or sales. This is purpose of this subject is what are the current trends in the business world. Okay. What are the current trends in the business world? So this is the objective of this chapter. So it's not one by one topic. So here, what are the information technology development, new technologies in the business world? In that aspect only, we are going to discuss this chapter. So here, under visualization, we are going to discuss about certain new technologies. You may know certain things. So while we are discussing one by one, we will get to know what are the new things available in the visualization. So first one, filtering. I think it's a bit clear. Recognize that. Sometimes we studying that subject. So we are not going to discuss in depth level here. Here mainly, it's this chapter. You should know about the basic things. Okay, what are the current trends available in the business world? Current technology available in the business world. So here we are going to discuss about filtering. Basic things of basic things of new technologies we are going to discuss now. Fintech, blockchain technology, big data, big data, data analytics, AI, RPA, and final most important one, cyber. So these are the current trends, current technology available in the business world. Organizations are using. Okay, so one by one, what is meant by fintech, what is meant by blockchain? Out of this the blockchain technology is little bit complex now. Okay, others are straightforward things. While we are discussing, you can get to know about the content of or concept of the technology. So out of these current trends, blockchain technology is little bit tricky one. Okay, so I will explain. That's the one only trickiest part here. Other things are straightforward things. Okay, so we will discuss one by one from now onwards. We will start with fintech. AI run on it. So first one, digitalization. What is mean by digitalization? Digitalization is rapidly changing the way in which the financial services sector and business operate. Simple. Current trends improvement in the business world. In simple manner, business operating world. What are the current new technology trends? Okay, that is called digitalization. So here, fintech. What is meant by fintech? When fintech are simple. The word itself is explained the definition. Fintech means financial, digital financial technology. Financial technology fintech. Okay, so fintech all and the fintech concept of all of the simple one. Financial technologies. Normally, service providers and customers deal through this fintech technology. Service providers and customers are dealing with this fintech technology. Simple example, you are purchasing goods through online. By getting the payment through debit card, credit card, so online. So that is called fintech. So here, new applications of digital financial technology. New applications in digital financial technology. Hereafter, if anyone asks you about the fintech, don't confuse or don't be scared. Fintech means customer and service provider dealing with these technologies. New application of digital financial technology, often collectively aggregated to fintech. Digital financial technology are being used to transform the consumers and service providers interact. Consumers and service providers interact. Examples? You want to purchase anything from AliExpress or Taras, you are making your payment through online. That is payment. Your mobile banking. Who's service provider? Bank. Nowadays you are making the payment through the banks also. So easy way is bank transfers. Who's service provider? Bank. You are the customer. Service provider actually. Consumers, customers. If you want to open a if you want to open a deposit, nowadays do you want to go? Nowadays do you want to go to the places? No need. With your mobile, you can whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. Okay. So this technology got consumer and service provider interaction. So whatever transactions, whatever methods used for this interaction, those methods got been checked. Normally payments and settlement. So fintech example, mobile banking. All of you have mobile banks, computer bank, it should be mobile banking. So that you can make your payments, credit card payments, other bills, electricity, water bills, you can make. You can make the fund transfers. You can open the fixed deposits to the mobile bank. So that is mobile bank and payments. These are the payment methods. You know, pay. So you don't need to go to the ground places. Okay. Through online, by using this technology, you can make your payment. So these payments are one of the fintech financial technology. So you can relate this example to this definition. Consumers and service providers interact. So here, mobile banking, bank is the service provider, you are the consumer. In fact, payments, consumer and service providers interact. Lending and borrowing. Nowadays, lot of companies are giving short-term loans also. 30 days loan, 1 week loans also giving, no. Lot of companies, so those things are going through this technology. Physically, From online, you will be able to get those loans. Short-term loans are there. So those are lending and borrowings. And finally, investments. If you take this NDB, so banks, they have separate apps to open the investment. Not only NDB, other banks also have. HNB also have. You don't need to go physically there. You can open the FD through the mobile banking app. So investment. So you should know about fintech means digital financial technology. That is first definition. Okay, digital financial technology. What is meant by digital financial technology? Consumer and service provider interaction through this technology called finance. Okay, examples. So you don't need to write all this paragraph. Okay, for your understanding purpose only, I have given this paragraph. If you remember these things, that is enough. Mobile banking means what is mobile banking? You can give some examples of banks and payments. If you can give this UPI payments pay, that is all. By giving small explanation, and if you give these examples, that is enough. Lending and borrowing, as I told, this online lenders. And investment, fixed deposit through banking. So these are the financial technology. Service provider and consumer don't need to physically meet. Without that, they can make the payment through this fintech. Clear? So that is the first technology under digitalization. Nowadays, current businesses are using this technology. Examples, okay? Clear? Any doubt on fintech? So fintech is digital financial technology. Second point is that it takes consumer and service provider interaction. To interact, service provider and consumer. The last one, digital currency. Here in Sri Lankan context, we don't have digital currency. In future, we may have, but foreign countries have bitcoins. All the other bitcoins. So that is digital currency, but Sri Lankan context, that is prohibited. Central bank has prohibited that one. But just understand, digital currency also one type of fintech, bitcoin. Okay. Blockchain. Out of this, so whoever came later, just understand. Digitalization, the topic we are going to we are discussing now. Under digitalization, these are the topics we are going to. Okay, fintech, blockchain, big data, data analytics, artificial intelligence, robotic process automation, cyber security. These are topics we are going to discuss under this chapter. Digitalization process is not like a payroll, sales and purchase process. The purpose of studying this chapter is what are the current technologies used in the business world. So these are the technologies and these are the trends in the business world. Okay, what are the new technologies used in the business world? So fintech is first topic we discuss. Digital financial technology used by the business organization to interact with their consumers. So second topic we are going to discuss now, blockchain technology. Okay, before discussing theory, blockchain technology, are you so you discussed what you know. Okay. Out of this technologies, blockchain is pretty smart. Important thing. So it's a little bit difficult to explain to the example also. Okay. Just understand, because if you read the theory, you can't understand. The same, it doesn't mean I should include all the information related to the blockchain in the tutorials. It doesn't matter. Okay. So I will explain to you the concept of blockchain. It's really difficult to match with our current example, like other topics. But if you don't understand, ask me again. Okay, blockchain. Okay, let's take 30 years, 40 years before. Let's take before banks are coming. Okay, before banks are coming. Just listen. කතා කරන්න එපා. සුපරම කියන්නත් බෑ. One shot තේරෙන්නේ නැහැ. It's a product of blockchain technology. So before banks are coming, if one person wants to send money to another person, what's the method they used earlier before banks are coming? They say A and B. Okay? A and B. A wants to settle 100 rupees to B. Okay? Simple transaction. 100 rupees. He wants to settle to B. Now, A has given the money to B. These transactions are, this example I have taken before banks are coming. Okay. So now A has given 100 rupees to B. B has received. And A has recorded his books. Mono paper again, accounts record Excel just the paper again, I have given to B. Okay. B also wrote in his paper, I have received from A. But after a couple of days, B told to A, I have not received from you. Okay, all the proof things. Data all proof things. Guy pull up guy document. So after 2 or 3 days, he told you have received 100 rupees from me, but you have not settled. But actually, he has settled. But what's the proof? That problem they face. After some time, after some years, now with a bank has come to the market. Now, same A, same B, let's say now 10,000. Okay. Now A wants to transfer 10,000 to B, but now he can use mediator called bank. Now bank is there. Okay. Then greater than 9. Now bank through he can A deposit to B account and we can get from this bank. So now 10,000 has been settled to B. If after a couple of days time, the same concept, B has come and B is coming and telling, I have not received. Actually, he has received, but he's telling I have not received. Now what's the proof? Bank statement. Bank statement is there. So one mediator is there. But in order to give this services, mediator services, bank will get bank charges. Take a note, you have to pay the bank charges. What are the other risks in this process? In the second process, what are the other risks? Because here bank charges we have to actually pay. Here bank charges are not there, and then later outtake then. Now mediator is there. Through that mediator, we are settling the cash to relevant person. So now we have to pay something to that mediator that is called bank charges. So what are the other risks? So currently we are using this facility now. Currently also we are using it. So what are the other risks available in this process, this transfer? Sometimes you might have transfer the money to the relevant person, but in your bank account, it might be credited. Bank statement debited. Okay. Sometimes, but other counterparty, we have not received. So that type of technology problems are there. Other than dialogue. Credit card dialogue some certain experience I have. So even though mediator is there, but some because of some technical problem, this type of problem we may face. Okay. To avoid these things. Okay. To avoid these things. Not only bank, here mediator is bank. Okay. What are the other examples we can give for mediator involved? With mediator transactions taking place with mediator involved. Let's say you are purchasing a land. You have purchased the land from person called A. Okay. Once you purchase the land, where you should register that land? In land registry. So these transactions have been recorded in the land registry. You have to make the payment also. That is mediator. Land registrar is the mediator. Right, bank. So here also transaction is taking place. In your land purchase also transaction is taking place. Okay, same way transaction means you and B. You purchase a land. That land registration documents and details are recorded in the land register. Okay. Let's say you have purchased motor vehicles. You have purchased motor vehicle from B. There we should register that. The RMD. Motor vehicle registration, we have to register now. So all this transaction, all this registration information is available in the mediator point. To get that mediator services, we should pay certain amount. That's for charges. At the same time taking also. Time taking here, bank transfer, time taking from here. So to avoid these things only, blockchain technology has come. Okay. So let's say we take the same bank thing, but that's why I know that blockchain for bank transfers, those things are not applicable in Sri Lankan context. Just understand the concept. Okay. Here, the most important thing is you have to understand the concept. Okay. If you don't understand the concept, any gray area in the concept, just ask. The concept only you have to understand. So here, let's say 10,000 you have transferred and you have to make bank charges also. You have to pay the bank charges, and on other hand, sometimes because of some technical issues, your bank account has been debited, but your counterparty's bank account has not been credited. He has not received the money because of some technical issues. Okay. So then we say, no, I have not received. Okay. So in order to avoid this mediator involvement, okay, in order to avoid this mediator involvement and these delays, these issues, this time taking and late, in order to avoid these issues, introduce technology called blockchain technology. Okay, clear? Clear, money? Mediator involvement here. So, in order to avoid these additional charges, in order to avoid this time involvement and these technology issues, in order to resolve this problem, blockchain technology was introduced. Now, how these transactions are taken place through blockchain? That's the part only we are going to discuss. Here, this blockchain technology, the same concept එක තියාගන්න එක එකම දේ තමයි මෙතන තියෙන disadvantage එක දැන් 10,000 rupees ලා transfer කරන්න බෑ. That's why I told. We can't transfer rupees in the blockchain in Sri Lankan countries. Okay? Just understand the concept. So now, the same concept, transfer the money. In the blockchain technology, let's say 4 people are involved. It's a network. Okay, A, B. Four people are involved. If A wants to send money to B, same concept. Here 100 rupees sent, here 10,000 sent, here initially directly transfer, directly gave to the person. Here 10,000 transfer to the mediator. Now, no mediator. There are a group of people. The group, 4 people are there. Let's say WhatsApp group are there. WhatsApp group is there. So 4 people are there. So now A transferred money to, yeah, I can say rupees. Let's say $2. Okay, $2 transferred to B. Make a Bitcoin later. Okay, here in the blockchain we can't send the rupees. Okay, so just understand the concept. Forget about the rupees or dollars. Just understand the concept. That is the important thing. So here $2 transferred to B by A. So now here no mediator, no bank. So this is similar to this. But here what will happen? If you go and give this some money, then he will tell, I will receive from you. After a couple of days, he will tell, no, I didn't receive from you. But here, that type of things cannot be happened. Okay. Here, each and every person has separate ledger blocks. Okay. Once you start the blockchain technology, A, B, C, D, each and every person has a separate ledger. Okay. Separate ledger. Everyone clear? Make up here. Now, paper at the knowledge. Now, paper at the clear on the just here. Okay. Each and once you create the blockchain network, let's assume these 4 people are there. 4 people will get ledger. If A transfer to B, that $2, that transaction will be recorded in all these ledgers. Okay, simple. Exactly the concept is there. A has phone, B has phone, C has phone, D has phone. WhatsApp group. If you send one message, all phone will get same message. Likewise, once you transfer $2 to B, the network people will get that transaction. That transaction will be recorded in the ledger. Now we can't tell I didn't receive from you because this transaction will be recorded in the ledger. Okay, automatically it will be updated. The make a therapy. The concept practically. So nowadays it's supply chain management and healthcare sector, those are using, but not the Sri Lankan countries we can't directly match. So A, B, C, D. So here $2 transfer. This transaction will be updated in the ledger. Okay. B, reference. B, reference. Same reference. Okay. That is called hashtag. It's called hashtag So with the same reference only, it will be appeared in the ledger. Okay. So now this risk is not there. He can't tell no. I didn't receive. This risk also not there. Mediator problem of NAND. Whether mediator NAND A to B, all these transactions will be updated. If B to C also, let's say $1 transfer, that also will be updated in this network with these group people ledgers. Okay. Now this is called distributed ledger. Okay, it's called distributed ledger. So here they can't tell I didn't receive money from here. So this mediator is group and received by regular here is group here. Okay. Fine. Get clear? Now let's take A. Okay, let's take A. This person. Okay. Here A has created each and every transaction, created blocks for each and every transaction. That is called block chain. Let's say first transaction, one block. Second transaction, another block. Third transaction, another block. Okay. So let's say first transaction is $2 transfer. So that has been recorded here. Okay. And with hash tag. Okay, with hash tag. This transaction will be recorded. Because hashtag is a recurrence. Reference number at the end, hashtag is a recurrence. So if you put that recurrence, you can see that transaction. So we hashtag. Okay. Second block. Second transaction, let's say $1 he has transferred. Okay, that is second block transfer. Okay. Second block contains second transfer. But previous transaction also it will improve. So here previous transaction details also mentioned with previous hashtag reference. Let me take a second example. It's saying second transaction, $1 transfer. That is first. Second transaction details, $1 transfer, separate hashtag is there. In addition to that, this first transaction details also mentioned in the second transaction block. Likewise, third previous block transaction will be recorded in the next block. That is called block chain. If anyone, let's say, if we wants to change the user, let's say, if we wants to change this first transaction details instead of $2, he wants to change, he wants to get a $0.5. If he makes that adjustment in his blocks, his ledger, his hashtag will be changed, but others hashtag will not be changed. Then easily we can identify the B has made a mistake of unwanted thing. Okay. Clear? Again, I will tell. Same transaction, these $2 transactions are recorded in the each distributed ledger. This each ledger called distributed ledger. Distributed ledger, that's why we are calling distributed ledger. First transaction has been recorded with the separate hashtag. Let's say 001, not like that. That's a lengthy number. For reference purpose, just understood 001. Okay. That 001 references will be appearing all ledgers A, B, C, D. Okay. If we wants to change that transaction in his ledger, he wants to make some adjustment in the transaction. Okay, let's say fraud activity of Karna kiya. If he wants to change his transaction, that $2 transaction will be changed only in his ledger. It won't be changed in other ledgers. Then the actual transaction will be appear in other ledgers. The change transaction will be appear only his ledger. Then automatically he will be caught. Okay, he will be caught. He has made unwanted thing. Okay, so that's the risk. Once you put that entry, you can't change. When it comes to blocks, here these A transactions, if we take individual person as A, these transactions are recorded in the blocks. So first transaction will be recorded with the hashtag. Second transaction will be recorded with the hashtag, but previous blocks details also will be included in the second block. Third block will contain second transaction details with the hashtag, the same hashtag. Clear? But let's say hackers come and they want to change this transaction. In this scenario, if hackers touch this bank system, what will happen? Your entire transaction will be corrupted. Okay? If hackers, because your all transactions are stored in mediator's location, the bank system, all these transactions, then if hackers want to change your transaction, then if they touch this bank mediator system, then that is sufficient. They can do whatever they want. So if they change the information in the bank system, automatically your transaction will be changed. You have transferred 10,000. Hackers came and they have changed the system, then after that it will be shown as 1,000 rupees. Or sometimes it won't be shown. Okay, it won't be available in the system. So here, if hackers come and change this block, let's say if they touch this block, they can change only this block, but the previous, let's say, if they change this block, first block, instead of $2, if they make it $1, hackers change anything, then this block won't be changed. You have backup in this block. This block contains previous block details with the hashtag. Clear? So if hacker comes and change the information in this block, he can touch only this one, and you will get alarm also. This block details he won't touch. Here, your previous actual transaction details will be saved in your backup block. This is called backup block. So if we change here, you have actual transaction details. It's the advantage here. So basically, this is called blockchain technology. Here, basic things, distributed ledger, not single ledger. Decentralization word. Here, decentralization is there, not centralization activity. Here, centralized activity. Bank is the mediator. If we take motor vehicle registration, RMP is the centralized person. If we take land purchases, land registrar is the centralized person. If we take bank transfer, bank is the centralized person. So here, no one is centralized person, decentralized activity. Distributed ledgers. And each and every transaction will be included in the blocks. So these are the concepts. Okay, understood? Concept or any doubt? So you should remember these things. Each and every transaction has separate blocks. Previous with hashtag, separate reference number. So just understanding purpose, just remember reference number. Okay. Technical word called hashtag. previous transactions details will be recorded in the next block with the hash tag. If anyone wants to change the previous transaction details, if we touch first transaction block, he can only amend the particular transaction, particular block only, but backup block they want touch. Yeah, so these are the benefits available in the block. Our layman make it up here now. Let's say you have your brother, your mother, and your father. 4 members are there in the family. Okay, let's assume this one. 4 members are available in your family. So you have it's not blockchain, but concept I want to explain further. 4 people are there in the family. You, your brother, or sister, or mother and father. You have your family. You have purchased one land from outside. Okay, your father has purchased one land from outside. This land detail transaction: how much the cost, what's the location, how much you have transferred, how much land preparation cost you incurred. So those details you are keeping as a ledger and you have shared among the family members. So these details, you have these details, your brother has that detail, your mother and your father also has details. All of you have same details. If your brother changed any details in your in that ledger, he can amend only his ledger. Your one or your father's one or your mother's ledgers won't be changed. Then automatically he will get. So this is the concept applicable to here also. It's a distributed ledger. If anyone wants to change, he can change only his ledger, but the transaction details, original transaction details are recorded the other ledgers as well. Okay, these are the benefits of blockchain. Clear? Blockchain technology is an advanced database mechanism that allows transparent information sharing within a business network. Blockchain technology is an advanced database mechanism. It's an advanced database mechanism that allows transparent information sharing with business network. There's a transparent information. If 4 people are involved in the transaction, A, B, C, D, all 4 people will get the information, transparent information. Blockchain is an increasing collection of records made of blocks. Okay, transaction 1, transaction 2 with separate hashtags that can be distributed but not copied or altered. The person can alter his ledger, but it won't affect to other ledgers. Okay. Within a blockchain, each new block contains transactional data. Each block contains transactional data, a timestamp and hash that relates to the previous block. Clearing all transaction has separate block, and next block also will contain previous block details. This technology was originally used to digital currency. That's why I told you can't transfer this blockchain to rupees. Okay. Bitcoins to prevent the double spending of the currency, but its use being extended to other transactions. Nowadays, supply chain, healthcare sectors also using, but in different contexts, I think in future it will be used in several areas, but for the time being, it's not that much of an. Okay? And Bitcoin also not applicable to us. Simply provided by the central bank. Advantages of blockchain: it eliminates intermediaries. Centralized meaning, so it eliminates intermediaries. It offers transparency when dealing in currency because blockchains are viewable by the public, unlike other currency types. Blockchain transactions simplify process as they are part of single public ledger rather than multiple ledgers which may be subject to different accounting rules. So distributed ledgers are there. So it's transparency. If anyone wants to make the changes, he can change in its ledger, but original transaction one will not get it. So these are the things you should know about the blockchain. So just note it this one and write down short notes what we have discussed now. Okay. Just write these things. So whatever you understood now, based on our discussion, just write in short notes. So just put this A, B, and C and write this later type of things and blockchain key wordings or key points. Blockchain technology has distributed ledgers. Distributed ledgers. Blockchain technology has distributed ledgers. It is a decentralized process. The decentralized process. Decentralized process. It's a decentralized process. In brackets, right? No intermediaries involved. No intermediaries involved. It's a decentralized process. In bracket, right? No intermediaries involved. Blockchain technology has separate blocks for each and every transaction. Blockchain technology has separate blockchain technology has blocks for each and every separate transactions. Blockchain technology has blocks for each and every separate transactions. And every transaction is recorded big hash. Yes, a hash. Or you can write or supported by hash. Kind of reference number. Okay, similar to reference number. Okay, these are the things, these are the points you should remember when it comes to blockchain technology. Third topic, data analytics. So that is straightforward one, like blockchain. Data analytics means the heading itself explaining the concept data analysis. Analyze the data. So you have to analyze, if you have unstructured data, you have large volume of data, large volume of unstructured data, you have to get information from the data after transferring structured data. That's a simple definition. Data analysis. Okay. So unstructured data are there. So in order to get information, make use of that unstructured data, first of all, you should know about the pattern, trace, those things. Simply unstructured to structured data. Okay, that is called data analytics. It's not like blockchain that much. It's not like blockchain that much complex also. Simple, straightforward thing. First of all, you have to remember, you have to understand what is meant by data analytics. Data analytics means analyze the data. Simple. Unstructured data to structured data. So unstructured data, from unstructured data, you should get information for your business. So unstructured data are there, and the pattern, trend, and other information, other useful information you should take from the unstructured data. So that's called data analytics. Data analysis is the examination of data trying to identify pattern, trends or correlations. The aim of data analysis is to extract insight from the unstructured data or from large volumes of data. Next important technology is big data. Have you heard about it? Heard about big data? All you know big data. Okay. Here also simple big data means large volume of data. Okay. So when it comes to organization point of view, let's say manufacturing company, how this big data will help them to improve their business. Okay. From that aspect, we have to look. What is meant by big data? Before discussing this big data one technically, I want to ask, what is meant by big data? Simple definition you can have. Big data means large volume of data. You have large volume of data. How this large volume of data will be used to organization to improve their operation. Okay. It will relate to several areas of the organization, not only to the specific areas. Let's say, for example, if organization wants to know about their customer trend, okay, they have last 1 year data, consumer data, customer data. What are the items they have purchased regularly? From their in their products, what are the products have high demand? In which season, what products move fast? What are the slow moving products? What are the customer changes taking place in customer changes, customers thinking pattern, and what are the items are fast moved items? What are the slow moving items? So those informations they can take it from data, but they have recorded in the system. Okay, so that is customer related things. On the other hand, let's say if they have machine related things, machine in the manufacturing company, they should operate the machines long. If they have machines, so in the machines, how frequent machines are, how frequent machines should be repaired, how frequent machines should be maintained properly. So how many products, how many units can be produced by that particular machines? So those things, why they need, by using this past data, they can decide future activities. At what point this machine should be repaired? At what time, in which point oil should be changed? So likewise, based on the past data, by using the past data, they can take future decisions based on the consumer patterns, based on the customer's taste, analyzing the past data, future products can be decided. What are the products we have to deliver to the customers in order to increase our sales? What are the high demand products we have to purchase? So likewise, they can get information from the past data, consumers. Let's say supplier chain management, supplier side. If supply related past data are there, if you give new order to the supplier, how long the supplier will take to deliver the items? Because we have the past data. Let's say we have A, B, C, D. Two suppliers are there. So A supplier, how long it will take? B supplier, how long it will take? What is the inventory control levels? How much we should keep as a minimum level in future? So those details must be taken from past information. So these are called big data. So data, large volume of data will be useful to make future decisions. Okay. So for examples, I have given 3 examples: consumer related big data, machine related big data, suppliers related data. So by using past large volume of data, we can make future decisions. Okay, it's called big data. So another famous big data, there's organization point of view. Another famous big data is Google Map. Okay, so now currently, if you want, let's say if you want to go, to Peta, during this 10 kilometers, if you want to know about the traffic details, Google Map will give the traffic details. How Google Map will capture these details? Let's say today 11:30. Okay. So here to Peta, I think half an hour. So if traffic is not there, means you can go within half an hour time. Okay, fine. But now you want to know about the traffic details. Google Map will give the required details to you. How Google Map collects these details from? Yeah, how this details will be given by the Google Map to you. Because the map එක set කරලා තියෙන්නේ අනිත් කටේ Android phones එක තියෙනවානේ. දැන් ඒකෙන් link වෙලා ගම system එක තියෙන්නේ. So it has been linked to Android and other smartphones, and it will capture the current details and it will give to you. So this is big data, collecting the details. So likewise, that is related to the Google Map. On the other hand, if you take a organization side, in the organization, I have given 3 examples: supplier side, consumer side, and machine side. Not only that, other aspects also they have data. So the most important thing is they should use past data, and by using that past data, they should make future efficiency, effective decisions. Okay, so that's why big data is important to the organization. Big data is the broad term for the larger, more complex data sets that can be held by modern computers. Okay. The term refers to a shift in the amount of data that is available compared with the past. Okay. One example of this is Google Maps, which uses big data to help predict traffic flows. Google is able to process speed data obtained from people's Android smartphones to work out where traffic is moving more slowly than usual. It will capture from smartphone and Android smartphones. This is then indicated on the map side. The whole process then is dependent on the collection of enormous quantities of data from smartphone, something that would not have been possible 20 years ago. So big data has certain characters, certain features that is called 4 V's. Before discussing these 4 V's, you should not remember these things. You should understand these 4 V's. Okay. What is the example of big data? Consumer details. If you take organization, customer pattern, you have details. On the other hand, machinery details. On the other hand, supply details. So these are the informations, past information you have. So those informations can be used to future activity. So these informations must have certain characters, certain features. Those features called 4 V's. Let's say Google Maps, for example, that Google Map big data should have 4 V's. Okay. Organization, consumer, organization data, past data should have 4 V's. First one, large volume. Large number of volume should have. That's the first feature. And variety of information should have, variety of information should be available. So in order to analyze the customer pattern, you should have lot of information, not stick to one or two information, one or two type of information. That variety of information should be available. So then only you can make effective and efficient decisions in relation to customer taste. Veracity. The information must be truthful. More information in the van, because decision impact. And velocity is referred to the speed. Let's say Google Map. After 30 minutes, traffic delays. So speed is important. Likewise, these 4 P's must be available with the big data. Okay. Volume, vast volume, variety, diversity of source of data, diversity of source data, veracity is concerned truthfulness of captured data, and velocity, speed. So these 4 V's must be available with the big data. Otherwise, in other terms, we can say 4 features of big data or characters of big data. So you should remember these 4. Okay. So we will do questions also. Rest of the thing next class I will continue. So we will do the 2 questions and we will wind up the class. Already I have uploaded to the LMS. Questions are clear on? Already I have uploaded. Take that question, please. 11 So first two questions we already finished. So try third question. Try to answer for third question. You are then key the next. That's right, sir. I have more than half of just right. After 5 minutes, we will discuss the answer. Just try third and fourth question. We will discuss. Right, third and fourth question. After my What is meant by receipt? Receipt killing. At which point we use receipt? What are the, in which situation normally organizations use receipt? Payment terms. Well, cash receipt. So you have to write pre-explain accounting documents that are useful in the cash management of a firm. So whenever you receive cash from customers or any other party, organization should raise receipt. So write the answer. Small explanation, brief explanation you have to give. So write the answer. Receipt. It's a sourced document of cash received. It's a sourced document of cash received. It's a sourced document of cash received. Source document of cash receipts from customers or any other party. Customers or any other party. Receipt numbers should be in a sequence order. Receiving numbers should be in a sequence order. Payment voucher. Payment voucher and petty cash payment voucher. Petty cash voucher. Both are more or less similar. Right? Payment voucher. It's a source document for payments. It's a source document for payments. It's a source document for the payments made by an organization or made by the organization. Made by the organization. Payment voucher also, payment voucher should have sequence order. Payment vouchers should have sequence order. Payment vouchers must be supported by the relevant bills or invoices. Payment vouchers must be supported by the relevant bills or invoices. And it must be approved by the authorized person. It must be approved by the authorized person of the company, of the organization. Last point, right? Reason for the expenditure must be included in the payment voucher. Reason for the expenditure must be included in the payment voucher. Reason for the expenditure must be included in the payment voucher. Petty cash voucher. This is moreover similar to payment voucher, but petty cash voucher is used for small expenses. Petty cash voucher is used for small expenses. It must be supported by the bills and invoices, bills or invoices. It must be supported by the bills or invoices. I have uploaded this one, I think 1 week before. Just try these questions. This type of questions only you will get with the exam. Okay. So not like other questions, what we have discussed in the because in each and every chapter. So this type of questions are not similar questions, same questions, but this type of questions will be asked in the examination. So you have to practice. So just write my answer and keep separately without studying. It won't help you. Okay. So don't write my answer before discussing the class. Sorry, before discussing the classroom, you have to write your own answer. So these are the straightforward things, not like second level. Second level only in the audit will get practical related exam, scenario based questions or practical applications. So here you won't get that much of practical applications or scenario based. May get one or two questions, but not that extreme. Most of the questions are related to straightforward questions. Okay, like this type of question, some past paper questions, you know, this type of questions only you will get. So please write your own answer and compare with my answer. Basically, my answer and your own answer won't have that much of differences because all are theoretical. So I also take it from theory. But we have discussed the classroom. So first important thing is you have to write and practice. That's the important one. Just listening my answer and writing the notebook, that won't help you. Okay, so just understand the questions from where these questions have been taken, whether we have already studied or not. Most important thing is we have to link this question to the theory. So then you can improve your skills. Not only this subject, theoretical subject. If you are asked from direct questions, then you should develop that skill. This question has come from which area, from which field, under which section. So that capacity, that skill you have to develop. Then only writing skill will be improved. Okay. And write the answer. That's enough. First, understand from where this question has come and write the answer and compare it with my answer. So on. I would say that my answer and your answer won't be that much of changes. Okay, different. Moreover, 90% will be same. Then mama කියමු answer එක තමයි ලියන්න ඕනේ කියලා ඕගොල්ලන් content එක වෙනස් වෙන්න නැතුව ඕගොල්ලන් ලියුවොත් ඒකට තමයි marks. බහින්න එපා. Okay. So the same words what I am using, it doesn't mean you should also use. Okay. Okay. Without changing the content and content, if you use your own words and write the answer, then that also will be acceptable. Okay. So write the answer and come to the class and come back with my answer. Not only this subject, control audit all the subjects. So that only will help you to get through the exam. Okay. Especially whoever wants to get A. So don't think easily you can get 40 marks. Okay. I have experience. 4 of my papers. Below 40 marks also. Okay. I don't know about other subjects. Whether 8 I have 75 students, whoever sit the exam, they can pass the exam or not. I don't know about other subjects, but when it comes to audit, at least 4 or 5 out of 25, 30. I don't know how many below 40 will come in out of 75. Okay? So it's not that much of difficult in your level. It's straightforward questions only come. Straightforward questions only will come. Only your part is study the theory, then and there, and attend these questions. That's the only thing you have to do. Okay, study then and there. Not like other subject in audit, lot of theories are there. Okay, so when it comes to audit, also lot of theories there. Not like business process. Business process only 25%. For that 25%, in order to get 25%, you should cover 7 tunes. Okay. So internal control 35%, but fortunately you have only 2 tunes. Okay. But audit 40 marks, somewhere around 6-5 tunes are there. Okay. So my request or advice, then and there, just go through the section. Now, almost another half an hour or 1 hour I will take to complete the digitalization. After that, this class we can start the internal control. So we have done business process. So now at least 1 month gone, at least you should complete these first 3 sections. At least. Okay, at least. That's why I mentioned the word at least complete first 3 sections. Sales, payroll, cash. Okay. If you keep until last moment, that's your problem. Okay. Audit has more notes. Okay, that's the thing. 3 chapters are there. 3 chapters contain altogether 7, 2, somewhere 50 tunes, 50 to 60 tunes. Okay. So then and there, just read and understand the concepts. So business process is not that much of difficult. Business process is not that much of difficult area. You know the process already. Certain elements only you have to focus in detail. What are the those areas? Inventory, cash management, integration. Others are by reading itself, you can understand the process, straightforward process. So just try and finish off the business processes that is next 2 weeks time. Okay, 7 areas, next 2 weeks time, just complete the business process. At the time of finishing the internal control, that will also finish. Try to finish it. Then you can focus only to audit 40%. Because audit, even though 40%, there are a lot of contents are there. And most important thing, audit is new to you. Okay, audit is new to you, concept is new to you. And knowledge also The first time you are going to study audit. Right? Study audit. Audit firm में आना करने का I have no son. Audit firm में son. Audit firm में आना करने का whoever works in audit, some kind of knowledge you have no position. That is okay. So this is a new subject to you. So before studying the audit, just finish it off with internal control and at least business problems. Don't keep until last month. Don't keep until last month. That will be a burden. Definitely that will be a burden to you. Study with each other. Study करना पूरा अंग्रेजी दाव नहीं है। एक ऑडिट लेकर मास्टर। Okay. With that you will go to. So when you are coming to next class, try to write the answers for rest of the questions also. Okay. We will discuss. And next class, I will give the group assignment. Before that, I will share the group details as well. Okay. Group details sent out of us say, make a question again. That's why I requested you to create a group, but you only requested me to create a group. I will create it sharp. Just see. Hopefully, that could be the final arrangement. After that, I can make adjustments. After that, I will check with the restaurant. Before next Sunday, I will share the details. Next Sunday, I will do the group assignment.